What to do, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. 8-Bit Raw. And today, let's have a conversation about something, all right? I want to stir the pot a little bit. Today, we are going to have a conversation about the Steven Crowder racist video. Let's talk about, like I said, I want to stir the pot a little bit. Let's talk about something that no one really wants to talk about from really either side. Let's talk about this shit. I'm not gonna say from either side, but it's way less prevalent on one. But let's go ahead and just talk about this. Let's talk about conscious and unconscious bias. All right. So one of the issues that I have, right, especially when it comes to people talking about politics on the internet, is generally people are going to have to talk about these things coming from some sort of biased perspective, correct? Is that safe to assume? Okay, cool. Glad that we can agree on that. Let me make this part perfectly clear before I say everything that I'm about to say, because I'm already aware of how the relationship is with people on the internet, or where that relationship is. I don't give a about either political affiliation. I personally don't have one. I don't care about either side in particular. I care about specific issues. I care about issues themselves. As far as aligning myself with someone, I don't have one. I don't have one. You want to hear a quick secret? I've never voted. That's right, everybody. Mr. 8-Bit Raw. Me. I've never voted in my entire life. Now, I know. Some people are going to get really pissed off at me. Like, yo, you're a part of the problem. Matter of fact, both sides are likely going to look at me and be like, yo, you're a part of the problem. I don't care. I don't care that you get to feel like you've done something more than me, because you get to say, well, at least I picked one of these sides. It's not because I'm indecisive. It's because I have my own personal opinions on both of them. But let me go ahead and continue into this conversation. Both of these sides suck. Now let me explain why. All right. On this side, the left, generally what you're going to get is a whole bunch of people who, if we're talking about the internet, it's generally going to be a whole bunch of hyperbole, right? And that's from both sides. But if we're talking about the type of hyperbole that we're going to get from the left, it's generally going to be about sometimes smaller issues that may or may not be something that's real. Sometimes some stuff gets overblown. Sometimes some stuff isn't overblown. That's the thing about any type of issue in real life. You're going to have to make that decision for yourself. That's one of the problems when it comes to actually getting any of your news from any one of these news sources. You have to take into consideration whoever it is. I don't care what network it is. There's someone who has a bias. The information that you're going to get, generally, there may be a few here or there where you can get an unbiased. These are just the facts on this situation. Make your opinion from it however you will. But for the most part, you're not going to be able to get that. What you're going to get most of the time is going to be run through a filter, and then you're going to get either the conservative viewpoint or you're going to get the leftist viewpoint. Pick one. That's what you're going to get. However, moving on. The reason why this ties into this video, okay, is because there's another problem that exists over on the right. That problem is I'm not even going to say the inability. There are some people who are willing to when the facts are straight up there enough for some shit, some people will just be all right, well, you know what, it is what it is. this is what the situation was, and I do think that we should do something to like rectify the situation. But there's a lot of people that won't. Let's talk about some. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, only reason why I'm even talking about this, to be real with you, I have nothing to lose. All right, I don't. I'm a small ass channel, bruh. A really small channel. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. People can unsub. It basically won't be any different than if they like were there anyway. Not really. So let me go ahead and just say things that like some of the larger creators don't want to say. Alright? Let me say this. The problem with the right is that generally, if you guys have a position on something, there's really like nothing that can be said to you that might even be able to like change what your position on it is. Even if all it would take is just doing like a little bit of research. In the case of like what happened with Steven Crowder, there's a lot of misinformation in the things that he said. To be real with you, part of me doesn't really even want to like rewatch the video, mostly because it's just racist, bro. It's just racist. However, I'm sure that if you go to like the comment section for whatever the video, for that same video, you would likely find people who don't really have any type of issue with whatever it is that he said. People who think that was more than correct and more than a fair, accurate representation of what we are, of what my people are. Let me make this part perfectly clear. There are black farmers. They have existed for quite some time. However, the legislation that was in place wasn't even just targeting like only black farmers. However, of course, in this situation, we were singled out because they thought it would be a funny gag. And to some people, it was. Not here. So let's get back to this problem when it comes to like the conservatives, right? Basically, if something is funny, right? A lot of them have an issue with the people on the left, right? And go, you guys are all snowflakes. You guys are snowflakes about a lot of shit too, man. Let's just go ahead and put this shit like right out there. You guys are snowflakes about anything involving police. You're snowflakes about several things involving like this whole like this C word. All right. You guys are definitely snowflakes about a lot of like racial issues because for whatever strange reason they don't think that it exists. Like they think they're like some of these like these R word issues. I'm trying to listen, Susan. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. Right, I know. But anyway, I'm trying. But they don't really want to have conversations about these things if they feel like they run the risk of being actually wrong on situations. So generally what they try to do is instead they try to just like control the narratives themselves, which I mean I can understand because it's not like the left doesn't do that as well. They have a whole bunch of media outlets as well. Again, that's just one of the reasons why I don't really care about either side. Not really. There are things that I'm left leaning on. There's things that I'm right leaning on, and I think that's okay. However, I say all that to say this: if you are someone that truly does value, I guess, like justice in the way that you say you do, right? If you're someone that truly does value making the right call on things, you need to get outside of whatever chamber you're in, whatever echo chamber you are in. I don't care what your political affiliation is. You need to go look at whatever the viewpoints are from the opposing side, and you need to like figure out whether or not these things that are being told to you are true. Go do your own research. I'm not going to sit up here and say that like people need to be canceled for, because I've made videos before already stating I think cancel culture is generally stupid. I think it's really stupid. stupid. Because to me personally, I feel like cancel culture doesn't allow people. It doesn't really allow people to like to mature, to grow. In a weird way, cancel culture, in a weird way, it kind of only serves to like make everything worse. Because generally, the people who get canceled, one of two things happen to like whoever their fans are. Either like they like will just completely like fall off from being fans from them, or they'll double, triple, quadruple down on being a fan of them just because you guys tried to cancel them. This is just something that happens. However, I thought that this would be a good time to have a conversation about that. All right. Specifically when it comes to like the conservative party, because this is just where this is coming from, right? If you guys are hearing like a certain perspective and certain things are starting to actually like make sense to you, or starting to sound like they may make a little bit of sense to you, do a little bit of research on it so you can like be at least informed on it, right? Because the same problem that was happening with like a lot of leftist media is the same problem that's happening over now on the right. So now you're getting news mixed in with opinions, just like this. And my problem with it is how many people heard that and likely are now going to believe that anyone who has the opposing opinion that this is something that's not okay. How many of these people are going to now basically continue on having their own like really racist ideology, right? How many of these people are going to suddenly start doing this? Who really knows, right? But I think it's an important conversation. Look, man, I'm Mr. 8-Bit Raw. I've said what I think I needed to say on this subject. Like I said, I'm not watching that video again, bro. Cause what for? Why the fuck do I need to like watch that video again? You guys, if you want to go see it, you can go check it out yourself. All right, you can go check it out on his channel. But man, just dude, develop your own opinions on it, yo. And I mean really develop them. Don't just like look at something that somebody else said. And I don't care which side it is. Don't just look at something that someone else said and then just take whatever they just said as like gospel. Please don't do that. Go do some more research and then develop an opinion on something, because that's how true opinions should actually work. Anything else is just you parroting shit. It's important for you to do that. And the reason why it's important for you to do that is because then if you do that, you're at the very least armed for if you do run into a situation where you are able to debate someone, right? You're prepared for a conversation like this. You should want to be able to have a conversation about this shit. You shouldn't. That's another. I'm not even going to continue going into that because that will make this video way too long. Like I said, it's your boy Mr. 8-Bit Raw. I got a mic. I got a drill. Be easy, drill gang.
Yeah.